Nintendo has officially revealed the long-awaited Nintendo Switch 2, and boy, do I have some opinions on this one, because after months of built-up anticipation, weeks of leaks and rumors, and is this photo real, is this motherboard actually the Nintendo Switch 2, we finally saw it. And I feel like in order to do this properly, right, let's break out the popcorn and let's enjoy the excitement that is the Nintendo Switch 2. That's right, in case you are the 1% of humans who missed this announcement this week, Nintendo has dropped a brand new trailer for the Nintendo Switch 2, showing off the device's larger screen, improved Joy-Cons, and while the trailer does include plenty of new looks at the physical console, it fails to mention anything about specifications, hardware, or release dates. Wait a minute. That's it? That's all he talked about? What about the C button? What about whether it's LCD or OLED? I mean, what about the screen? You're telling me you're only going to give me 2 minutes of content, Nintendo? Look, I'm not one to complain, but it took me longer to pop this bag of popcorn for a joke than it did to watch your trailer. Guess we're not going to need this now. Now, to Nintendo's credit, the trailer did show off that not only will the Switch 2 have a larger screen, but the bezel has been reduced on all edges, allowing for more display. The back of the Nintendo Switch 2 will have a new U-shaped kickstand that will greatly improve the current Switch experience. The Joy-Cons have been elongated and feature a new magnetic attachment system, along with showcasing the ability of the Nintendo Joy-Cons being used and moved similar to a computer's mouse. The Nintendo Switch dock will be returning with improvements as well, and in the trailer we can see that the dock has received some curved edges, and like its predecessor, the Switch 2 will come with the Joy-Con controller mount, which creates a universal controller for players who want to play in dock mode. Nintendo closed out the reveal by teasing a 2025 release date, a Switch 2 Direct on April 2nd of 2025, and Switch 2 experiences taking place around the world. And look, I'm hyped, right? We finally got our first look at the Nintendo Switch, but I still have a ton of questions. Is it LCD or OLED? What type of performance can we expect from the Nintendo Switch 2? What features does the Switch 2 have that its predecessor doesn't? And look, I understand that a lot of those questions are probably going to be addressed during the upcoming Nintendo Switch 2 Direct, but I think I speak for the entire internet when I say, I want it now, Nintendo. But it is funny because I've seen like a lot of people look at this reveal and they're like, I didn't like it. Or like, the reveal wasn't good. And I don't know if I like totally agree with that, because I think that Nintendo did like a good job overall making the video and like showing off the new device. But I think where a lot of the disconnect is happening here is like, for Nintendo, this was their introduction to the mass population of like, hey, this is the Switch 2. But for those of us here on the internet, myself included, a lot of us had that introduction months ago. I mean, we've been talking about the Switch 2 almost every single week since the beginning of November. So in many ways, I can understand the frustration of like, why are we having appetizers? I've been sitting at this table for hours. Give me my dessert! But jokes aside, I still do think that this was a very good reveal for Nintendo, right? Like, they showed off the console and they ended it with people having questions. And I think anybody in marketing, like, that's what you want to have. And I've also seen a lot of people get mad about, like, we don't have a release date and we don't have pricing. And I think that Nintendo has to play it safe here, because I think that if you look at, like, what's happening globally, you can't just like launch a price, right? Like, especially Nintendo of America. You know, the incoming administration is very, very adamant that they want tariffs, and those tariffs are going to impact chips, they're going to impact consoles, they're going to impact pretty much everything. And so I would guarantee you that Nintendo America is playing it very close to the chest here, because they don't want to launch a console and then have to like 2 months later be like, sorry, it actually cost you $150 more than it did before. And the tariffs are really interesting here because nobody really knows like how high or low that they could be. In fact, the next election cycle, it might get so crazy that the Democrats come out and they're like, ask not how much your Switch 2 should be, ask how much less it will be if you vote for me. I will say though, registration for the Switch 2 event in Dallas went live yesterday. And I registered because I would like to attend this event. I would love to get some hands-on time with the Switch 2. It was very frustrating in the beginning because their site was definitely not prepared for the traffic, which blows my mind. Like, Nintendo hasn't released a console in almost a decade now, and they put up a website and they're like, come check out the new console. And then, like, first second crashed. And it literally took about 15 minutes for me to be able to get my place in line to hopefully get a ticket here. And what's frustrating is, like, in the thing it says like, hey, it doesn't matter if you're first, we're just gonna randomly pick people. And like, my buddy later in the night did the registration. He was like, yeah, had no issue. I got straight in. So I'm like, okay, fingers crossed we get there. Plus, the other cool thing about this event is, like, not only do you get to see the Switch 2, but like, it is guaranteed to be nuts. I mean, I'm talking people camping out for days, people playing the Nintendo Switch with their friends while they're waiting in line, probably a whole bunch of them who haven't showered in like a month, and then another group that's just like mainlining G Fuel in order to stay up for the event. I just want to be a part of that. Like, that just sounds so incredible. And meanwhile, there's gonna be like drones flying overhead, and you're just going, and we're all gonna be like, "Hi, look at us, we're on TV." But in reality, we're not on TV. Those are just like the Nintendo execs just sitting in their office, being like, "Dance, my minions, dance, my minions, dance." But anyways, shout out to Nintendo. The Switch 2 revealed this week, and it was super cool. And next time we will be hearing from Nintendo in regards to the Switch 2. It will be on April 2nd of 2025. 74 days and counting. Because can't wait. We've already waited 14 years. Why not wait a little bit longer? So anyway, we will obviously be updating y'all on the channel as news drops, and we'll be doing a huge amount of coverage as the Switch comes out, doing videos and showcases, so make sure to stick here for more Nintendo Switch news.